Hello to anyone watching. I just want to make a brief video about my experience getting Chloe. She's a Schnoodle. She's half miniature schnauzer and half miniature poodle. And yes, it's very hard to say. She's a Schnoodle. I got her from a breeder, and I know there's a whole argument whether it's better to adopt a shelter dog or buy one from a breeder. And obviously there's been tons of videos made about that. There's pros and cons for each. I know when I was getting ready to get a dog, I was told, oh, you have to get from a breeder. You get a shelter dog and you don't know their background. You don't know if they're going to be, vicious or yappy, or, you don't know what they've been through, which I guess is true. But I also got told, oh, you can't get from a breeder. There's so many dogs without homes, and it's so much better to adopt one who needs a home, which is also true. When I got Chloe, obviously I looked at the shelters first. So we were in Alberta, Canada at the time. I scoured the listings of every dog available in every facility in the province for months, and there was nothing. Obviously, in my situation, I needed something hypoallergenic. I do have quite severe dog allergies, and actually recently discovered that even though Chloe is hypoallergenic, I'm still allergic to her, and I'm dealing with quite severe. So if you hear my heavy breathing during any of my videos, it's not just that I'm out hiking, it's also I can't breathe through my nose. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But I needed a dog that was hypoallergenic, and so I looked in shelters. I started looking just before COVID hit, and obviously then COVID hit, and the demand for puppies just skyrocketed. So, shelters were being cleared out. There wasn't really more than one or two hypoallergenic dogs available anyway. And then COVID hit and there was nothing. So I was lucky enough at the time to be working at a job that said, oh, you want a dog? Yeah, bring her to the office with you. No problem, which was awesome. Actually, I worked for a board of directors, and two of the directors suggested I get a dog. I just moved from my apartment into my first home, and they said, oh, now you need to get a little pet. So I thought, oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, why not? So I fostered a kitten, and it didn't go well. We had a family cat for about 13 years, and I never had any allergic reaction. And then I got this kitten in the house, and my goodness, my allergies. It did not go well. So that didn't work out. So I thought, well, if I get a hypoallergenic dog, that should work out. So one of the ladies who suggested I get a pet, this is a long story now, one of the ladies who suggested I get a pet, she had a Schnoodle, and she said, oh, come and, stick your nose in his fur, make sure you're not allergic. So I did that, and sure enough, I was not allergic. She brought me a few other breeds as well. I think there was a Yorkie that was supposed to be hypoallergenic. No, no, that didn't work out for me either. So the Schnoodle was the only breed of dog that I didn't react around. So I started looking for a Schnoodle, or a Schnauzer, or a Poodle. And I found several breeders in the province. Chloe, this way. Come here. Have you lost me? I'm over here. Chloe. This way, please. No. She'll catch up. Anyway, so I found several breeders in the province, and I knew I needed to be very specific about my criteria. Elective surgeries for animals, tail docking, cat declawing, those had just been banned where I lived. So about 6 months to a year before I started looking. So I knew, anyone who was still doing that to their puppies, schnauzers' tails are usually docked. Anyone who's still doing that, I probably didn't want to go with. And I did find a breeder. He had a little little black miniature Schnauzer puppy ready to go, and then I found out that the tail was docked, and I thought, well, you obviously didn't find a reputable veterinarian to do this for you. Did you do it yourself? Are there going to be complications? Was it done correctly? So the other thing is that, with the demand for puppies with COVID, he put his prices up from $1,800. No, this is Canadian Canadian dollars, 1,800 Canadian dollars, up to I think it was 23 or 2,500. So I wasn't a big fan of that either. I know it's supply and demand, but it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because when I was originally looking at the puppy, it was 1,800, and all of a sudden he updated his website, and the price had gone up by a couple hundred. So that was a little bit outside of my budget at that point too. This way, Chloe. Come on. We just came from there. She's off on her little adventure today. Anyway, this is I'm rambling. I should have done a script or something, I guess. I think that's what the proper YouTubers do. I'm not looking to be a YouTuber. It's okay. I have a day job. Anyway, not that there's nothing wrong with being a YouTuber. I'm going to get flack for that. I think it's awesome if you can do that full time, but I like my other job, and I'm not very good at this, so there you go. Anyway, so long story short, I eventually found a breeder 6 hours north of where I was. She kind of ticked all the boxes. She had not upped her price when COVID hit. She was still asking the same amount for the puppies, which was $1,800, which is a lot of money. But when COVID hit, I was looking at $1,500 dogs that were already, all of a sudden, the breed was asking, $2,500, $3,500 for a breed that was $1,500 before the pandemic. So anyway, $1,800 for little Miss Chloe here. I saw her ad online that she had just had this litter of puppies, and I was looking for a little black female. And there was Chloe in the ad, little tiny black jelly bean, and so I phoned her right away. Within, I think it was 4 minutes, the ad went up, and 4 minutes later I was on the phone asking, hey, I'd really like the little female puppy you have in your ad. Chloe, this way, please. And she kind of, this is what really got me. She kind of stopped me. She said, now, wait a minute. Yes, she's available. She said, but I need to ask you some questions. And this is not the part I was expecting at all. She said, I need to make sure she's going to a good home. And I thought, awesome. If, if she had said, sure, come get her. I might not have realized at the time, but afterthought, now that I know more about the process, because I did have, like I said, the one breeder who docked the tail of the puppy, he was ready to just give her over, no questions asked, like, send me your money and come get your dog. But this lady I eventually got Chloe from, she said, what's your living situation? Is there a yard? Is there a yard for Chloe? Do you have a stable job? Is she going to be at the shelter in 6 months because you can no longer afford to take care of her? And so I answered all her questions, and she said, yeah, it looks like a good fit. You've done all your research, you're in a stable situation, you got your own home with a yard. And I said, yeah, I've bought her leash, I've bought her collar, I've bought her food bowl. I said, I'm serious about this, and I'm ready to go. And I have the money saved. And she goes, great, I put her on hold for you. Come up when she's ready to go in 8 weeks, and she's yours. So that's what we did. That's how I selected my breeder for Chloe. A lot of red flags and a lot of positives. I want to touch on one more thing, because it wasn't all fun and games. obviously I think my breeder was the best that she could be. She had this huge acreage, and she only bred her dogs every few years, and I think she was doing everything right as a breeder. But we went to pick up Chloe, and we were one of the last ones because we had to travel so far. We went up. We went up the day before, stayed overnight in a hotel, and then came back the next morning after picking up Chloe. Anyway, so we went out to this acreage to pick up Chloe, and she was the last puppy to be picked up of the litter. And the mother dog was outside, and Chloe, the breeder brought out Chloe, handed her to me. I handed her the money. She handed me some food to start us off, and some care instructions, and some guidelines, which was nice. And of course her medical history, the shots that she had already had, and her weight and all that. And then I got in the car with little Chloe, and we started to drive off. And the road ran along kind of the length of the property fence. And the mother dog, and it breaks my heart to this day, the mother dog had she chased our vehicle, barking and crying, and it haunts me to this day that we had taken her last puppy, and all the rest had gone and never came back, and here was Chloe being taken too. And I know she's, you say she's just an animal, but knowing the emotions that Chloe can express, I got her spayed. I got her spayed, which was part of the breeder's contract anyway. But I never wanted to. I would end up with 6 dogs in the house because I'd never be able to give them away. So that's kind of the downside, I guess, of getting from a breeder is, I guess, the emotional toll. Because in the wild, I know they're very domesticated now, but the canine instinct is to stay with the pack. So you take the puppies away from the mama, you're breaking up that pack. It's not a natural way of things. Oh, this trail gets steep. So for the I promised the mother dog, and I promised the breeder, but I kind of silently promised the mother dog that I would love and care for her puppy as long as she lived, which yeah, obviously I'm doing the best I can out here, but it was not a very nice sight to see, as we took her puppy, and she just broke down the only way a dog can break down. She was very upset, and I don't have a lot of memories. I have very poor long-term memory. I don't remember much of Chloe's puppyhood. I might have to make a video just for myself in the future of all the things I do remember in case I forget, but I very vividly remember driving away and watching this mother dog try to get her puppy back from us. So yeah, that was my experience going with the breeder. Like I said, I tried to adopt first, but with the limitations I was working with, and with the short supply with COVID, it didn't work out. And I ended up finding a really good puppy. She's been the best dog. Obviously when you get a dog, an older dog from a shelter, they're already potty trained, and a brand new puppy isn't. But Chloe was such a good puppy. I gotta make a video of that too, if anyone's interested, if anyone's sat through this one. So yeah, I guess in summary, there's not much more I can say. That was how it all went down, and no regrets. She's an awesome little dog. She's my best friend. Now that we've moved up to the middle of nowhere, she's my only friend, and that's fine. But yeah, I just got to deal with these allergies because she's almost 2 and she's going to be with me for several more years. And I can't breathe properly. Even out here in the woods, it just kind of sticks with me. Some days are better than others. I got 2 prescription medications at the moment. But that's another thing, I guess. Make sure you're not allergic and that no members of your household are allergic before adopting a new dog, whether you get from a shelter or a breeder. I know a lady I worked with here for 6 months when I first arrived. She got a golden retriever puppy, and then she got a golden retriever adult dog, and then she thought maybe her little 2-year-old son might be allergic. So definitely something to keep in mind. You can get allergy testing done, which, if you're in Canada, is free, I believe. I know I had it done as a teenager. She's such a good dog. But yeah, do your research if you're I guess that's the takeaway. If you're going to get from a breeder, definitely do your research, and even if you have to pay a little bit more to adopt from someone reputable who's doing all the right things. If I had gone with the first puppy available to me, I think there would have been some regret there. I mean, Chloe wouldn't have a tail, for one. And I would have paid a lot more. Anyway, this video is very long now. This might be my longest video ever. But anyway, if you watched, thanks for watching. If you're interested in my other videos, I mostly just post videos of us out for walks, or I got some videos of her as a puppy on there as well. And I think now that we've found a nice trail system that's pretty quiet and I can film, we might be doing more videos in the future. If you have anything particular you want me to talk about, let me know. And thanks for watching. Right. Yeah, good girl. Okay, thanks. Bye.